नमस्कार दोस्तों, स्वागत है आपका मेरे यूट्यूब चैनल पे। फ्रेंड्स, इन प्रीवियस क्लास we discuss the some basic concepts of solution, in which we discuss the definition of solution, components of solution, various types of solutions, and the concentration terms of solutions. Now we will discuss the solubility of a gas into liquid and the solubility of a solid into liquid. So let us start. First of all, what is solubility? Solubility is the maximum amount of solute which can be dissolved in specified amount of solvent at a given temperature. That means सोल्यूट का वह मैक्सिमम पार्ट जो एक स्पेसिफाइड अमाउंट ऑफ सॉल्वेंट में किसी पर्टिकुलर टेम्परेचर पे डिज़ोल्व हो सकता है, वो क्या कहलाता है? सोलिबिलिटी कहलाता है। सोलिबिलिटी ऑफ ए सॉल्यूशन डिपेंड्स ऑन मेनली थ्री फैक्टर्स: नेचर ऑफ सॉल्यूट एंड सॉल्वेंट, टेम्परेचर एंड प्रेशर. So first we see the solubility of a solid into the liquid. When a solid is dissolved into the liquid solvent, then that process in most of the cases is endothermic, which means that if we increase the temperature, then the dissolution process become faster. As the temperature increases, the solubility increases with few exceptions. जैसा कि हम इस ग्राफ में देख पा रहे हैं, टेम्परेचर वर्सेस सॉल्युबिलिटी ग्राफ है, जिसमें मैक्सिमम कंपोनेंट्स के लिए जो सॉल्युबिलिटी कर्व है, टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज होने के साथ साथ सॉल्युबिलिटी इंक्रीज हो रही है. इसका मतलब ये है कि ज़्यादातर सॉलिड्स को जब हम लिक्विड में डिज़ोल्व करते हैं तो वहाँ पे टेम्परेचर बढ़ाने के साथ साथ सॉल्युबिलिटी बढ़ती जाएगी. सेकंड फैक्टर है प्रेशर. चूँकि सॉलिड को लिक्विड में जब हम डिज़ोल्व करते हैं, सो इन दैट टाइम देयर इज़ नो चेंज इन द वॉल्यूम, सो द प्रेशर हैज़ नो सिग्निफिकेंट इफेक्ट ऑन द सॉल्युबिलिटी ऑफ सॉलिड इनटू द liquid. Second is the solubility of a gas into the liquid. The solubility of a gas into liquid is explained by Henry's law. The Henry's law states that the solubility of a gas at a given temperature is directly proportional to the pressure at which gas is dissolved. या फिर the partial pressure of a gas in vapor phase is directly proportional to mole fraction of gas in the solution. If P is the partial pressure of a gas, then it is directly proportional to the mole fraction of the gas, that is X, or we can write it as Pg is equal to Kh into Xg, where Pg is the partial pressure of a gas, Kh is the Henry's law constant, and Xg is the mole fraction of a gas. That means as the pressure increases, the solubility of a gas increases with increase in pressure. And that Henry's law has various application in our everyday life. So let us see some applications of the Henry's law. The first application is the production of the carbonated beverage, soft drinks, soda waters. Generally, these are prepared and sealed under high pressure to increase the solubility of carbon dioxide gas. The second application is the anoxia in climbers. Anoxia is a medical condition which is caused due to the less availability of oxygen to the blood. Generally, the people living in the high altitude areas, they are mentally weak, or we can say that their thinking power is slightly weaker than the people living in the plain areas. It is due to that the less availability of oxygens, because that in high altitude the pressure is very low, and at low pressure the solubility of oxygen into blood become less, which cause the anoxia. The third application is the deep sea diving. The scuba divers suffer from the painful effect called bends, because underwater, due to high pressure, the large volume of gas is dissolved in the blood, and when they comes on the surface, pressure gradually decreases, and due to that, the gases which dissolved into the blood, especially the nitrogen, it comes out and it produces the bubbles in the blood, which blocks the capillaries and creates a medical condition called bends. And to avoid such bends, the people while diving they use the diluted air with helium, which consists of 11.7% helium, 56% nitrogen, and 32% oxygen they use for the respiration under water. Next is the vapor pressure of a liquid solution. What is vapor pressure? When the liquid and the vapor phase are in equilibrium. That means the rate of condensation and the rate of vaporization become equal. Then we can say that the liquid and vapor phase are in equilibrium. In such condition, the pressure exerted by the vapor on the liquid surface is called vapor pressure. Vapor pressure mainly depends on two factors, that is nature of solute and solvent, and second is the temperature. In the diagram we can see that it shows that the liquid and the gaseous phase are in liquid equilibrium, and in that condition the pressure exerted by the vapors over the liquid surface represent the vapor pressure. Then Raoult's law. Raoult's law explains the relation of the partial pressure of a volatile component with its mole fractions. When the solute and solvent both are volatile, that means the solution of a volatile liquid, the partial pressure of each component in the solution is directly proportional to their mole fractions. For example, if a solution has two components, one solvent and two is the solute, then the partial pressure of solvent P1 is directly proportional to X1, or we can write that P1 is equal to P naught 1 X1, and for solute its partial pressure is P2, which is directly proportional to its mole fraction X2, or P2 is equal to P naught 2 X2, where X1 represents the mole fraction of solvent, P naught 1 is the vapor pressure of pure solvent, P1 is the partial vapor pressure of a solution, X2 is the mole fraction of a solute, P naught 1 is the vapor pressure of pure solute, and P1 is the partial vapor pressure of a solute. In the diagram we can also see that X1 represents the mole fraction of the solvent. As we move from right to left, XA value increases from 0 to 1, which indicates that the partial pressure of component A also increases as the value of XA increases. In the similar way, we can see that X2, if we move from left to right, its value increases from 0 to 1, and as a result, the vapor pressure of solute, that is P2, also increases with increase in mole fractions. So the total vapor pressure of the solution, we can say that it is sum of the partial pressure of component A and B, that is P total is equal to P1 plus P2, or we can write that P total is equal to P naught A XA plus P naught B XB. Next is the vapor pressure of a solution of solid in liquid. When a non-volatile solute is added to the water, that means in case of non-volatile solute, the vapor pressure of a solution is lower than that of pure solvent, because when a non-volatile solute is added to the solvent, then the number of volatile particles on the surface of the liquid, they becomes less. As a result, the vapor pressure of the solution becomes less than its pure solvent. As we see in the diagram, the first diagram represents that pure solvent in which all the particles present on the surface are volatile particles. So they easily vaporize and they convert into the vapor phase. And in diagram B, some of the particles of the solute, they also occupies the space on the surface of the liquid, and as a result the number of volatile particles on the surface becomes less, and the vapor pressure of that solution is less than the vapor pressure of pure solvent. So in that condition, we can say that the partial vapor pressure of each volatile component in the solution is directly proportional to its mole fraction. So in that case, P total depends only on the vapor pressure of the solvent because the solute is non-volatile. Now, the ideal and non-ideal solutions. So, ideal solution, we can say that the solution which follows the Raoult's law over all range of concentration and temperature, यानी एक ऐसा solution जो सभी concentration temperature condition पर Raoult's law को पूर्णतया पालन करता है. For example, the solution made by benzene and toluene. Solution of benzene and toluene, that means when benzene and toluene are mixed together, then in the solution the intermolecular attractive forces between the solvent particles and the solute particles, they are same those between the solute and solvent particles. यानी कि जब किसी solute और solvent को हम मिक्स करते हैं तो particles के बीच का जो इंट्रैक्शन है वो उनकी प्योर स्टेट यानी सॉल्वेंट और सोल्यूट के बीच जो इंट्रैक्शन है उसकी एग्जैक्टली सिमिलर होता है. सो फॉर आइडियल सॉल्यूशन वी कैन से दैट पी टोटल इज ऑलवेज इक्वल टू पी नोट ए एक्स ए प्लस पी नोट बी एक्स बी, और द डेल्टा एच मिक्सिंग, that is enthalpy change during the formation of the solution, is always 0. Del V mixing is also 0. That means there is no change in the volume when the solute is added to the solvent, and the interaction between the solute-solvent particle is exactly equal to the solvent-solvent interaction and the solute-solute interactions. If any solution follows all these four conditions, then we can say that it is a ideal solution. And for ideal solution, the lines in the graphs are straight line. The second is the non-ideal solution. Non-ideal solution is that solution which does not follows the Raoult law over all range of concentration and temperature. यानी ऐसा solution जो Raoult's नियम से deviation शो करता है या उसको completely follow नहीं करता है, उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? Non-ideal solution. Non-ideal solution जो है वो नेचर ऑफ इंट्रैक्शन ऑफ एट मॉलिकुलर लेवल के अकॉर्डिंग जो है वो डेविएशन शो करता है. दैट मीन्स इन नॉन आइडियल सॉल्यूशन द इंट्रैक्शन बिटवीन सोल्यूट सॉल्वेंट पार्टिकल्स इज ग्रेटर और लेस देन द इंट्रैक्शन बिटवीन द प्योर स्टेट ऑफ सोल्यूट एंड solvent. Non-ideal solutions are of two types. One, the solution which shows the positive deviation from Raoult's law, and the second, the solution which shows the negative deviation from the Raoult's law. The first is the solution which shows the positive deviation from the Raoult law. In that solution, the attractive force between the solvent and the solute are stronger than the interaction between solute and a solvent. As a result, it decreases the vapor pressure of the solution in comparison to their pure state. So we can say that the solution which shows positive deviation, for that solution PA is greater than P naught AXA and PB is greater than P naught B XB, or the P total is greater than PA plus PP. And the second condition is delta H mixing is greater than 0. That means the dissolution process is endothermic. When the solute is added to the solvent, then some amount of energy is consumed during the dissolution process. The third is the delta V mixing is also positive or greater than 0. That means when the solute is added to the solvent, then there is slightly increase in the volume of the solution. So if a solution follows these three conditions, then we can say that it is the non-ideal solution which shows the positive deviation from the Raoult's law. And if we see the curve between mole fraction and the vapor phase, then we see that non-ideal solution, it shows the positive deviation from the straight line, which indicates that this is graph represent for the solution which shows the positive deviation. The second is the non-ideal solution which shows negative deviation from Raoult's law. In that solution, the attractive forces between the solvent and solute, they are weaker than the solute-solvent interaction. As a result, the vapor pressure of the solution becomes higher than the expected value. Or we can say that in negative deviation non-ideal solution, PA is the less than P naught AXA and PB is less than P naught B XB, or delta H mixing less than 0, that means negative. Or we can say that when the solute is dissolved into the solvent, then some amount of energy is released, and del V mixing less than 0, that means the solute and solvent on dissolution, there is slightly decrease in the volume of solutions, and its example is chloroform and acetone. In negative deviation non-ideal solution, we see that the graph lines shows the negative deviation from the ideal behavior. So that graph represents the non-ideal solution which shows the negative deviation from the Raoult's law. So this is the ideal and non-ideal solutions. Next is the azeotrope. Azeotrope, we can say that it is a binary mixture having the same composition in liquid and vapor phase and boils at the same temperature. Or we can say that a mixture of two liquids which boils at the same temperature range is called azeotropic mixture or simply azeotrope. In such case, it is not possible to separate the components by fractional distillation. Azeotrope mixtures are of two types. First is the minimum boiling azeotrope, means that mixture in which the boiling point of the mixture is less than the boiling point of the components present in the mixture. That means it boils at the temperature lower than the boiling point of any of the component present in the solution. And the solution which shows the positive deviation from the Raoult's law, they are minimum boiling azeotropes. For example, the mixture of ethanol and water in which ethanol is 95% and water is a 5%. So that mixture is the minimum boiling azeotrope. And the second is maximum boiling azeotrope. Maximum boiling azeotrope are those mixture which boils at the temperature higher than the boiling point of the component of a mixture. And the solution which shows the negative deviation from the Raoult's law, they are maximum boiling azeotrope. For example, the mixture of nitric acid and water, in which the 68% of nitric acid and 32% of water, they form a maximum boiling azeotrope, and it shows the negative